and they win the NFC South.
Interesting news today. What's good, everybody? Let's talk some Tampa sports. Teddy B is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Not what I expected to happen today, but it makes absolute sense. I'm seeing a lot of overreactions. I'm seeing a lot of underreactions. Let's just talk about this for a moment. Not a long video. Backup quarterbacks. It doesn't take that long to talk about, right? Baker Mayfield had a little hand contusion, out for 2 practices, did return to practice today. The overreaction to this is I'm seeing people on social media say, Baker Mayfield's injury is worse than we thought. That's why they bring in Teddy Bridgewater. No, not quite. Let's not overreact. The guy missed 2 training camp practices and then was back to full speed today. Let's not overreact. And then the underreaction is that he's only here because Michael Pratt, the 3rd-string quarterback, is dealing with a back injury, so he's unable to practice. I do think that's an underreaction. I think the truth lies somewhere in between. He's not here just because Baker is injured and his injury is more serious than we think. And he's also not here just to be an arm at training camp. He's here to compete for that backup job. That's realistically what's going on here. And based on what Coach Bowles and Jason Light had to say today, I think that pretty much just, confirms that. Let's see. Coach Bowles calls Bridgewater a pro's pro. He brings us a wealth of experience at that spot. Obviously, we don't have it. Kyle Trask has been here a few years, but he hasn't really played. Obviously, we have a new guy, undrafted free agent, coming in. So we need the extra arm. We think we need some experience in that room. The more experience, the better. Obviously, Teddy Bridgewater, I think he's played for 6 teams at this point. Started a bunch of games, has seen playoff action. He's a pro. Like Coach Bowles said, he's a pro's pro. And by the way, how about imagine being let go of your job, obviously being the head coach at Miami Northwestern, his alma mater, also Levante David's alma mater, and your backup option is to go to the NFL and be a backup quarterback. Imagine that being your life. Oh, that sounds great. That sounds fantastic. Shout out to Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, he's put the work in for it, and he's earned this. So here he is back in the NFL with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of connections also. Obviously, Charlie Strong spent some time at Louisville around the same time that Teddy Bridgewater was there. Levante David, like I said, that connection there, both of them going to Miami Northwestern. A few Miami guys on the team that I'm sure all have looked up to Teddy Bridgewater if they are younger. And if they're older, I'm sure they have some sort of relationship just based on where they're from. So Jason Light, what he had to say about it. Light said all options are on the table as to whether they'll carry 3 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster or have a 3rd quarterback on the practice squad. The team selected Kyle Trask, obviously in the 2nd round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Battled with Mayfield for the starting quarterback role in 2023. Trask got first-team reps while Mayfield was injured last week. So, going back to him missing those 2 practices with that hand injury. We still have preseason games to play and all that, but right now Kyle is our backup. That's the intention, and that's what we're hoping for. But yeah, everyone is competing. Teddy Bridgewater is here to compete for a backup job. I think it's simple as that. They want experience in that quarterback room, and bringing in Teddy Bridgewater does that. Simple as that. Another connection here is that Bucs offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard was on the Dolphins with Teddy Bridgewater in 2022, so there's another connection right there. What Levante David had to say, I think he would bring great professional leadership, add to the football team, and a guy who knows what it takes, been through a lot of adversity and knows what it takes to win, a great guy who's willing to sacrifice for the team, and he's definitely somebody who you want to call a friend outside of football. So everyone has tons of good things to say about Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say anything bad about Teddy Bridgewater, the person. 32 years old at this point, and of course, like I said, tons of teams he has played on at this point. I absolutely love this pickup option. How in the world could this possibly hurt the Buccaneers? This is fantastic, just bringing in extra security to that quarterback room, extra experience. Kyle Trask, like Todd Bowles said, like, he's been here, but he hasn't really played. And if Baker Mayfield goes down, I get a sense that the Bucs would prefer to have someone who has a little bit more experience running the ship if, let's say, Baker is out for 4 games or so. And I don't think this offense is too much at all for Teddy Bridgewater. I think it actually fits him very well. You're not throwing the ball deep a ton. I do think they'll implement that more this year, like I've said in previous videos with Josh Broussard at the helm calling plays, but more often than not, it's a lot of short to intermediate passing, just control the game, get to 3rd and short, convert that 3rd down, run the ball, screen. Like, Teddy Bridgewater can do all of those things, and it honestly is what suits him very well. So it will be something to watch going into these preseason games. We have some joint practices coming up with the Tennessee Titans before that first preseason game Saturday at 7 o'clock. We finally get to say that. There is a Buccaneers game this week. Time is here. Time is here. So we'll be able to see what Kyle Trask brings. We've seen him in plenty of preseasons now at this point, and now we get to add Teddy Bridgewater to the mix. Obviously, we'll need to take a little bit of time to get the offense down and things like that, but I'm sure by the 2nd and 3rd preseason game, we'll probably see more of him. And yeah, we'll see the undrafted guys well with Michael Pratt being out with that back injury. So overall, like I said, the overreaction I'm seeing online, definitely an overreaction, is that Baker's injury is more serious than we think. The guy missed 2 practices. Take a deep breath. I know we're kind of stamped with this injury bug right now, but I don't think this is something to worry about. Underreaction is that he's just here to be a body and an arm to make sure that Kyle Trask and this undrafted guy isn't taking all of the reps. Like, he's here to compete, and I think he will be 1,000% doing that. And Kyle Trask, you need to watch your back, because there's some experience in the room. Yeah, that's I'll leave that at that. That's going to be it for me, though. Like I said, quick video just talking about this signing. Just a 1-year deal. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. So, hey, bring him in, see what he brings to the room, and no strings attached. So, all good things in my eyes. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments on the signing down below. Like and subscribe if you have not already. Bunch of more content coming up as this season begins to ramp up. I cannot wait. Did I already say thank you? I think that's the 3rd thank you I've given you. Once again, thank you. Can't wait for this season. Go Bucs, and you have a blessed one.